War. It is a word that evokes a maelstrom of emotions: fear, anger, sorrow, and despair. The mere mention of it can send shivers down the spine, conjuring images of chaos and destruction that have been etched into the collective memory of humanity. Throughout the annals of human history, war has been a constant companion, leaving an indelible mark on civilizations. From the earliest recorded conflicts to the sprawling global wars of the 20th century, the shadow of war looms large over our past. From the ancient battles fought with swords and shields to the modern conflicts waged with sophisticated technology, the essence of war remains unchanged: a brutal struggle for power, territory, or ideology. The tools and tactics may have evolved, but the underlying motivations and the devastating consequences remain eerily similar. The true cost of war extends far beyond the battlefields where armies clash. It is a cost that reverberates through generations, leaving scars that are not easily healed. It is a cost measured in shattered lives, devastated economies, and the erosion of social fabrics. The infrastructure that once supported thriving communities is reduced to rubble, and the social bonds that held people together are frayed and broken. It is a cost borne not only by the soldiers who fight, but also by innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. The children who grow up in war zones, the families torn apart by violence, and the communities that must rebuild from the ashes, all bear the weight of conflict. Their stories, often untold and forgotten, serve as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict. These are the voices that must be heard, the experiences that must be acknowledged if we are to truly understand the impact of war. This essay delves into the history of warfare, tracing its evolution from ancient times to the present day. We will explore the major conflicts that have shaped our world, examining not only the battles themselves but also the broader societal impacts they have had. We will journey through the major conflicts that have shaped our world, examining the human cost and societal burdens they imposed. From the trenches of World War I to the jungles of Vietnam, each conflict has left its mark on the world and on the people who lived through it. By understanding the devastating impacts of war, we can foster a greater appreciation for peace and work towards a future where dialogue and diplomacy prevail over violence and destruction. The lessons of history are clear. War brings only suffering, while peace offers the promise of a better future. The pursuit of peace is not a naive dream but a necessary endeavor. It is a goal that requires the collective effort of nations and individuals alike, a commitment to resolving conflicts through understanding and cooperation rather than through force. It is a call to action for all of us to learn from the mistakes of the past and strive for a world where cooperation and understanding replace the horrors of war. The veterans who have seen the worst of humanity often become the strongest advocates for peace, their experiences serving as powerful testimonies to the need for change. Let us embark on this journey through history, not to glorify war, but to learn from its tragedies and embrace the imperative of peace. By remembering the past, we can build a future where the enduring scars of war are healed and the promise of peace is realized for generations to come. The ancient world, often romanticized for its empires and innovations, was no stranger to the brutality of war. These conflicts, driven by ambition and the quest for dominance, shaped the course of history in profound ways. From the fertile valleys of Mesopotamia to the sun-drenched plains of ancient Greece, conflicts erupted over resources, power, and the desire for conquest. These lands, rich in natural resources and strategic importance, became the battlegrounds for some of the earliest and most significant wars in human history. These early wars, though fought with less sophisticated weaponry than their modern counterparts, were no less devastating for those who lived through them. The clashing of swords, the thundering of chariots, and the cries of the wounded filled the air, leaving indelible marks on the landscape and the people. In ancient Mesopotamia, city-states battled for control of vital water resources and trade routes. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers, lifelines for agriculture and trade, were often the focal points of these conflicts. Control over these waterways meant prosperity and power, making them highly coveted and fiercely contested. The rise and fall of empires like the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians were marked by bloody conflicts that often resulted in the destruction of cities and the displacement of entire populations. These empires, each in their turn, sought to expand their territories and influence, often at the expense of their neighbors. The Assyrians, known for their military prowess and ruthlessness, employed brutal tactics, including mass deportations and executions, to maintain their grip on power. Their reputation for cruelty was both a tool of psychological warfare and a means of ensuring compliance from conquered peoples. Ancient Greece, despite its contributions to philosophy, democracy, and the arts, was also a hotbed of conflict. The city-states, each with its own ambitions and rivalries, frequently clashed in battles that shaped the political landscape of the region. The Peloponnesian War, a decades-long struggle between Athens and Sparta, ravaged the Greek world, leading to widespread famine, disease, and political instability. This war, driven by the desire for dominance and control, left a lasting scar on Greek society and its people. The war, chronicled by the Athenian historian Thucydides, serves as a timeless reminder of the devastating consequences of ambition and the fragility of peace. Thucydides' detailed accounts provide invaluable insights into the human cost of war and the complexities of political power. These ancient conflicts, though separated by time and geography, share a common thread: the profound impact on the lives of ordinary people. The echoes of these wars can still be felt today, as we reflect on the enduring human cost of conflict. From the farmers forced to flee their fields to the families torn apart by war, the human cost of these early conflicts serves as a sobering reminder of the enduring consequences of violence. The stories of these individuals, often lost in the grand narratives of history, remind us of the resilience and suffering of those who lived through these turbulent times. The Roman Empire, a civilization that left an enduring legacy on law, language, and architecture, was a beacon of innovation and cultural development. Its influence can still be felt in modern legal systems, languages, and architectural designs around the world. It was also a society forged through conquest and expansion. From its humble beginnings as a small city-state in Italy, nestled among the Seven Hills, Rome's ambition and strategic prowess set it on a path to greatness. Rome grew into a vast empire that stretched from the British Isles to the Middle East. This expansion, however, came at a heavy price, paid for in blood and treasure. The relentless drive to conquer new territories required immense resources and led to numerous conflicts. The Roman legions, renowned for their discipline and effectiveness, waged countless campaigns to subdue rebellious provinces and expand the empire's borders. These legions were the backbone of Rome's military might, their training and organization setting them apart from other armies of the time. These wars, while bringing wealth and glory to Rome, also resulted in the deaths of countless soldiers and civilians. The human cost of Rome's expansion was staggering, with entire populations being displaced or annihilated in the name of empire. The Roman historian Tacitus, in his writings, provides a glimpse into the brutality of these campaigns, describing the scorched-earth tactics employed by Roman legions to crush resistance. His accounts reveal the harsh realities of Roman warfare and the lengths to which Rome would go to maintain its dominance. The fall of the Roman Empire, a gradual process that unfolded over centuries, was also marked by incessant warfare. The once mighty empire, weakened by internal strife and external pressures, began to crumble under the weight of its own ambitions. Barbarian invasions, internal strife, and economic decline weakened the empire from within, paving the way for its eventual collapse. The influx of barbarian tribes, coupled with political instability and economic troubles, eroded the foundations of Roman power. The collapse of Roman authority plunged Europe into a period of instability and violence known as the Dark Ages, where warfare became a constant feature of life. The loss of centralized control led to a fragmented and chaotic landscape, with various factions vying for power. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire serves as a cautionary tale about the cyclical nature of power. History has shown that empires rise and fall, often succumbing to the same forces that once propelled them to greatness. From its humble origins to its eventual demise, the Roman story is a reminder that even the mightiest of empires are not immune to the corrosive effects of war and internal strife. The ruins of Rome stand as a testament to its former glory and a warning of the impermanence of power. The Middle Ages, a period often characterized by religious fervor and feudalism, witnessed some of the most brutal and transformative conflicts in human history. The Crusades, a series of religious wars waged between Christians and Muslims for control of the Holy Land, left an indelible mark on the relationship between East and West, fueling centuries of mistrust and animosity. Motivated by religious zeal and the promise of salvation, European knights and soldiers embarked on perilous journeys to the east, clashing with Muslim armies in a series of bloody encounters. The Crusades, while ultimately failing to achieve their objective of capturing Jerusalem, had far-reaching consequences. They facilitated cultural exchange between East and West, but also fueled religious intolerance and violence. The Black Death, a devastating pandemic that swept across Europe in the 14th century, further compounded the horrors of medieval warfare. Spread by fleas carried by rats, the plague decimated populations, killing an estimated 75 to 200 million people. The Black Death's impact on medieval society was catastrophic, leading to economic collapse, social unrest, and a profound sense of despair. The Crusades and the Black Death stand as stark reminders of the devastating consequences of religious intolerance and the indiscriminate nature of pandemics. These events serve as cautionary tales, urging us to learn from the mistakes of the past and strive for a future where understanding and cooperation prevail over division and violence.